Realize like when somebody do something to you, right? You gotta let that person hold themselves accountable for what they do. Don't just let somebody just come back in your life and they didn't even say sorry. I've had people in my life that tried to like come back around me and they have not apologized to me at all. It's just like, did you forget about what you done did yesterday? Did you forget about what you done said? Like, you need to apologize. You can't just come up to me and say, oh, yeah, we're buddies. We're best friends. We're going to be hanging out tomorrow. Let's do this. Let's go do that. No, we're not doing anything because at the end of the day, like I said, you need to watch your mouth and you didn't even apologize for what you done said. You know what I'm trying to say? I feel like I understand that people are imperfect and people make mistakes, but when the Bible says that love is patient, it doesn't mean love is going to keep on putting up with a lot of crazy, chaotic stuff and you supposed to just sit there and endure it. It says nothing about that. And so realize that there's highs and lows in life. You're not going to always see eye to eye with somebody, and that's fine. That's okay. You know, that's not the problem. The problem is when you're doing certain types of things towards somebody, regardless if it's a betrayal or it's gossiping, is, you know, insulting, throwing shady type of comments at people, regardless of whatever that it is, right? And then when somebody confronts you about what you did, as the Bible says, right? If you have a problem with your brother and sister, what do? You go to your brother and sister alone and you speak about it to your brother and sister and you try to, you know, come up with a resolution, right? Doesn't mean that you have to be best friends with that person, but you try to figure out the solution to whatever the problem is, if there is one. Don't try to, you know, throw it under the carpet and say, oh, there's no problem. You know, there is a problem though. There is, you know. And a lot of times, folks, they don't even come back around and say, you know what, I apologize when I said this, or I apologize when I did this. And you could tell they're being genuine because you would notice the difference, right? But every time you get around somebody, something is off, the negativity is off, you know, they're doing the same thing as a pattern. More than likely, 9 times out of 10, they're not truly really sorry and they're not going to change. And you have the right to decide who you want in your life, or if you go by the guidance of who God is guiding, Jehovah God is trying to bring into your life as a part of, you know, the tribe. But at the same time, if you realize that every time you're around somebody, and there's always crazy stuff going on, it's always violence, it's always somebody that's pulling you down, mistreating you, whatever way and form, why would you keep on going back around that person? And then it's just like, don't allow them to have the audacity to come back around you, you know what I'm trying to say, to treat you wrong. That's not okay. Like, look, you know, I don't want you talking to me. I don't want to be associated with you no more. You know, you treated me a certain type of way. You didn't even genuinely apologize, regardless of whatever that it is. I don't want nothing more to do with you. You know what I'm trying to say? So, you know, keep my name out your mouth. Don't talk to me no more, and just keep it that, keep it moving pretty much. You know, there's nothing more for us to talk about because every time I'm around you and there's always something negative, then you're the problem. And you can't just come back around me and put yourself in a situation and somebody is coming back around you and they didn't even say sorry, then more than likely they're not going to change because they're going to say, okay, well, every time I do this, the person keeps on allowing me back, you know, in their life. So I don't really have to do too much anyways because I know the person is not going to leave. So you have to be able to say, okay, you know what? It's time for me to go, right? It's time for me to let this person go. I mean, and continue to only allow people that's truly good for my well-being to be around me. Because if not, you're allowing negative people or people that's not supposed to truly be in your life to be around you. And more than likely, to them, they're going to take it as a joke because they're going to say, well, I don't have to put in no effort. I don't have to hold myself accountable because you let me do whatever I want anyways. And so what's the point of me saying sorry? What's the point of me, you know, changing my behavior?